Hi, Lynn McDonald here, and today I'm going to be covering Section 3, Retail. How to retail with the catalogues, building a strong customer base. Now, when you get started, if you get started with the digital kit or the virtual kit, whichever name you prefer to give it, you will get free books. Now, we're recommending that you use them to work really hard for you in these early stages to help you get a good income. And friends and family, neighbours will become our best customers. But you only have 5, so you want to work with them as tight as possible. So first of all, make a list of everyone you want to give the book to. Friends, family, work colleagues, people for nursery, school, neighbours. Target a minimum of 25 and just keep adding names. Now, it's really important that when you do start to execute your plan, that you make sure that you only leave the books with them for 24 hours and then collect. If one of your friends say, I can't give it back till next week, Friday, just politely explain to them that you've only got a few books and you need to get them out as many people as possible, so that what you'll do is you'll make sure they get a book as soon as they've got more time, and you can give them a book next Friday. You want to get the books back quickly to allow you to give to others on your list. If you purchase the kit with catalogues, we also recommend that you put 5 aside and follow this plan. You may have got 250 books, but still put 5 aside and give them to your friends and family. Quite often, they become some of our best customers. So remember to give them a book every 5 weeks. And you can also find the training on this by Kate Forbes, how to make the most of your free books at www.systemforsuccesstrainings.com. Welcome rewards. You'll be glad to know you can actually earn yourself some free catalogues. Now, if you don't want to retail with the catalogues door to door, you won't even be watching this video. There's a separate training for how to make the most of your free books. So if you're watching this, I'm assuming that you want to earn yourself some money with the catalogues. So as soon as you achieve 150 in sales, Clunies award you a free retail pack of your choice, and you can actually earn up to 5 free retail packs in your first 8 weeks in the business. Speak to your sponsor to make sure you know how to achieve these free catalogues, and then just follow this plan that I'm about to take you through. Retailing door to door with the catalogues. Your sponsor will send you all you need for retailing templates: weekly planner, callback slips. Now that's the little slip that you're going to put an introduction to who you are, all your details on it, but it also lets the customer know what day you're going to collect your book. Sorry I missed you. Sorry I missed you again. Thank you for your order. And track your retail. Now it's important that you open up a folder in your documents and save these to your folder. Now, if you want to build a team, you want to have 2 subfolders, retail and sponsor. Save a copy of each document in your retail folder. They're all in Microsoft Word, and all you have to do is insert your own details. Now, if you don't have a laptop, or you maybe don't know how to do this, your sponsor may change it all for you. Or if you've not got a laptop or printer, you can go to the library, or 2, your sponsor may be happy to send you a hard copy. But you want to also get a map of your area. You can go to streetmaps.com. I prefer a hard copy. You can pick them up sometimes for a couple of pounds at your local garage or newsagents. But they can also be found, all your templates can also be found on the website under Section 3 Retail. So you can just download them yourself if you want to pass them on to your team. Weekly planner. This is the most important document we send you, because fail to plan, you plan to fail. You can see there a few things written across the top, and I'll go through them in the next slide. It's important that you plan your first few weeks with your sponsor, especially on the catalogue side of the business. Both sides of the business, we're building up customer relations, but they work completely different. So your sponsor's going to be there for you. But first you want to enter your own commitments: work, football, brownies, guides, fun. Next, you want to enter meeting dates if you want to build a business. But even in the early stages, if you don't, we have online trainings that will really help you to establish a strong customer base, and they're normally at 9 p.m, so don't usually interrupt too much. But if you can't get to the meeting for whatever reason, we do record them, so watch them. They're here to help you to make money. Then you want to enter your chosen retail plan. Now, this is why we want you to speak to your sponsor. Once you've decided what you want to earn, your sponsor can help you with your retail planner to make sure that you achieve that goal. The amount of time you commit to your clean easy business sometimes will be dependent on what you want to achieve from it. However, I will say that 90% of people do the business part-time. So what we're showing you, we know can be achieved on a part-time basis. You'll be glad to know that. Preparing those catalogues, we want to make every pack the same. Why? When we start to collect them, it lets us see if the customer has looked at it, just at a glance. Name and address labels on the books and on your order forms. If you purchased the catalogue kit, you should get some free. If not, you can order them online. They're fairly cheap. Go to cleaneasy.co.uk and speak to your sponsor. They'll guide you in the right direction. Print off your callback slips. That's your introduction and the day you're going to collect them, or photocopy them if your sponsors sent them to you. You want to put the main book to the front along with your callback slip. That'll probably take up about a quarter of the bottom of the page, so you can still clearly see the catalogue. Specialogue and order form to the back, and make sure the order form is clearly visible. We want people to know that you are taking orders. Preparing your catalogues. Preparation in this business is the key. Prepare your catalogues the day before, if possible, before you're going to deliver them. This makes sure that, what I've found, that makes sure they go out. Know where you're going with the catalogues and don't change your mind for anything. Have that map. Find out how many houses are in each street. Some people in my team like to go and have a look at the area before they go out. Or you can go to Royal Mail and find out how many houses exactly are in each street. But a little bit of preparation will make all the difference. And plan your route. And you can see there from the little graphic that you want to plan it around the area in which you live in. And you want to break it into 5 areas, because what we do is we start at week 1 and go on to week 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we go back to week 1. It's important to start close to home. Time effective, cost effective, it makes more sense. And don't jump from street to street for any reason. You might see an Avon catalogue on the doorstep, or even worse, a Clean Easy catalogue. Don't worry about it. The system that we have in place that I'm teaching you today is tried, proven and tested, and its regularity, consistency and many other factors, including the fact that people have different buying patterns that will work for you. So just go week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, week 5, back to the beginning, and ignore these other distributors or companies. There's not many. Keep really good records. And I'm going to go into that later on in the training. But before we go into the record keeping, you want to decide if you're going to place or post. What is posting? Well, that is just popping them through the letterboxes every single house. What is placing? Simply knocking on the door and handing them a catalogue. If you don't have a lot of books to work with, then we suggest that you place them. It will give you a far better result and you won't lose as many books. And if you're delivering the catalogues in a rural area where the houses are more isolated, we definitely suggest that you place them. You don't want to drive a couple of miles for a house that hasn't put the book out and you haven't had a chance to speak to the person on the doorstep. But how do you feel about knocking doors? Because it can be a bit daunting. But here's all you need to say. Take the book and hand it to them. Hi, I'm delivering Clean Easy catalogues and I'm collecting them on Thursday. As I'm walking away, I do add, if you want, you can just drop it onto your doorstep and that'll save me disturbing you. But you must keep good records on collection and on delivery. You want to have a notebook and you want to jot down the name of the street along the top with the customer numbers down the left-hand side and the date the books were dropped. Now, Clean Easy do have customer record books. You get one with your kit if you purchase a catalogue kit, and I think they work out about 35p. But me being old, I prefer an A5, so I purchased an A5 notebook, wrote the name of the street along the top, houses down the left, a little bit of space for the customer details, and 5 areas where I can record the 5 weeks. Make a note against each house number when you collect the catalogue. Did they look at it? Have they not looked at it? Did they order? Did they say no thanks? Was they rude? Did they put it in the bin? Did they lose it? Know how many catalogues you delivered and know how many catalogues you collected and know what sales were achieved. And I'll cover that and track your retail in a moment. But here's a wee example of customer records. Date they went out, date collected, week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, week 5. It's bigger than the screen. Names of the customers, phone numbers, not interested, has a distributor. My records, I just put a tick if they've looked, a cross if they've not looked, an O for an order, an N for a no thanks, and a C-B for a callback. If you're posting the catalogues, we recommend that you leave them for 2 days. If you're placing them, we recommend you collect them after 1 day. A popular plan is one here. For example, deliver them on the Friday. You may want the weekend off or to do other things and collect them on the Monday. And then back out on the Tuesday to collect on the Thursday. Now in red here, you can see callbacks. So if you put your books out on Friday for Monday, you'll see on Tuesday, you'll have your callbacks from Monday. And then on Wednesday, final callbacks for Monday. Put them on your planner. And exactly the same for the books that you put out on Tuesday to collect on Thursday. You'll have a callback on Thursday and a final callback on the you'll have a callback on the Friday and a final callback on the Saturday or the Sunday. You can leave it to the Monday, but if possible, try and get back for those as quickly as possible while it's fresh in their mind. And here's the track your retail business, which will be sent to you. The day, the catalogues in, the catalogues out, the catalogues in, and your total sales, and eventually average per catalogue. Do bear in mind you don't want to fill the catalogues in and total sales until you've received your final callbacks. And you might get some telephone sales. But what you want to do is you want to record this every 4 weeks. You want to record a month at a time because your averages will vary. You'll have good days, bad days, fantastic days, devastating days. But what we found, if you record this, you'll get an average on a monthly basis, so your average pickup per catalogue, but you'll also end up at the end of the period with a decent amount of sales, because what it works out is by the time you get to the end of the week and the end of the period, you'll find you'll have a good amount of sales. But also what this is good for is if you do have a bad night, your good nights are recorded as well. So it reminds you that you have good nights and bad nights. So collecting your books, don't think it's quicker at the time not to record the information. It's very time consuming for the future if you don't. Some of your catalogues will be on your doorstep for collection. This is dependent on area. Some areas are going to lots of books. Some areas hardly any books. But that doesn't matter. We're going to be training the customer to leave that book on the doorstep. But those that aren't, just knock on the door and ask for your book. You don't have to say very much. You show them the catalogue and just say, hi, I'm just collecting the Clunies catalogues. If they aren't in, then post that sorry I missed you slip, telling them which day you return to pick it up. We recommend, if possible, the next day, and we recommend that you put the day rather, not tomorrow. Now the reason for this is sometimes your slip may get lost in amongst mail, and then they find it the next morning when they're going through their mail, and tomorrow, what day is tomorrow? They may be away for a day or a weekend, so put the day rather than tomorrow. But from 150 catalogues delivered on your first attempt, and this will be dependent on the time of day, you should collect around 100 from 150 delivered. If that was through the day, expect 50%. But it'll also vary from street to street. But don't worry about that. That's why the callback system is in place. I find in general you will definitely get 2/3 of them if you go in the evenings on your first attempt. And that other 50, I find on your second attempt, you usually collect them. Always check the book before you leave the door, though, to see if there's an order, because some customers don't put their address and details on it because you're collecting it from their door, so they're assuming that you're taking a note of it. So if you can't easily see the order form, you don't want to stand for ages looking for it, take a wee note in your records, just in the margin, no order form. Then if you do find the blank order for blank details with an order, you should be able to isolate which customer it is. And if you have an order, post thank you for your order, letting them know when you will deliver. Now, in the early stages when you first start, you may want to put 7 to 10 days or 5 to 10 days, because you won't have an idea of when you're going to be able to deliver. But what we find is when you retail consistently, you'll be able to accumulate enough orders to order on a certain day a week and deliver on a certain day. Return for the callbacks as soon as possible. People are less likely to forget again. And you may have to return 3 times for some catalogues, but a final sorry I missed you, don't keep going over and over again. Sorry I missed you with your phone number on it, how they can order, and you will start to get telephone sales. So what to expect from a blanket drop? Catalogues, if you're putting them through letterboxes, on average 1 in 10 people buy, with the average order £10 at first. So £1 in orders for each catalogue collected. So let's say you put, and I'm using the figure 100 for maths. Normally we work with more catalogues, but let's say you put 100 books out and collected 95. We expect you to have 95 in orders. Catalogues placed in hands generate around £2 a book collected. Now the reason for this is you're obviously giving them to someone who wants to have a look at it. However, bear in mind, you are having to knock on maybe 3 doors to get one placed. So I find that the average per door for placing or posting is actually exactly the same. The difference between the catalogues placed, you do know that they're going to look at it and perhaps buy. The sales per book slowly increase as you start to cross people off your list who don't want a book or lose it, or people who don't look, and eventually people who look but don't buy. The catalogues are posted or handed to different people for 5 weeks, then we return to where we started. See, plan your route. So you go week 1 to 5, back to week 1. So when you go back to week 1, the second visit, you'll miss out the people who told you they didn't want a book, or they may already receive another catalogue from another distributor, which is absolutely fine. Or if you were unable to get it from them, they biddened it or they lost it. You want to miss them out on your second visit. This is the start of your customer base, door to door, out with your friends and family. And on the third visit, you'll miss out all of the above, plus the people who have not looked at the book, and also the people, not looked at the book, and this will be around half. So on your third visit, if they've not looked at the book 3 times, cross them off your list. You're now getting closer to your customer base, and this should increase to around 150, but more likely to be nearer £2 a book collected. Why? You've crossed off the people that haven't looked. Once you've visited everybody 3 times over a 15-week period, you're ready to cut out the people who don't look or don't buy from the catalogue. Now, some people I do know maybe give it 4 times or more, but what I do is I give it 3 times, because I know that periodically throughout the year I will do blanket drops to pick up new customers, because we need to do that to develop a strong customer base. So I will get them at some point. But instead of visiting 100 houses and collecting 100 of orders, you'll be delivering to 100 houses and are collecting approximately £250 to £300 in orders, because the average order for a customer base, a brand new customer base, is £250 to £3 per book. Now this will grow to £5 and beyond, and your sponsor will teach you how to do that. The houses will be further apart, but you'll find that you'll be able to fit all your customers maybe into your first 3 weeks. This will be dependent on how much you want to retail per period, if you want to start another blanket drop in weeks 4 and 5 year cycle. And you just want to go in a new area close to where you're working, then continue the same format as when you first started until you remove all the non-buyers, the non-lookers, and you've got customers. And you can do this until you've got the amount of customers you want, which is a very personal thing. Make a plan and stick to it. That's the most important thing. Work your planner. Don't change it for minor things. Oh, Mary, would you like to go for a cup of coffee since you're free? No, I've got it on my planner that I'm putting my books out or collecting them. Must be consistent and regular to build a good customer base. When collecting, you'll need your record book, pencils, they work if it's raining, sorry I missed you, thank you for your order, and a bright smile. Jane White also recommends a towel. Now this is not to dry you, this is to dry your wet books. Save them contaminating any that are dry. Because sometimes customers pop them in a little bag and hang it on their doorstep so they don't get wet. So what makes retailing tick? Consistency. Make a plan and stick to it. Regularity. Maintain a frequency your customers will expect you. Reliability. Be there without fail. When you say you're going to be there, don't say, oh, it's okay, I'll just go for that coffee. I can collect the books tomorrow. No, you can't. The customer's waiting to see how regular and consistent you're going to be. Personalise, get your name in front of the customer at every opportunity, on your slips, on your sorry slips, on your thank you slips, everything. And refund or replace without question. Now, even if the customers wish to return goods supplied by another distributor, speak to your sponsor. We've got a system where you can return it for them and Cleaneasy will pay the money directly to the customer. Amazing. And if you can only afford a few catalogues, then place them and reduce your pickup time to 1 day. But above all, build a customer base. And this means keeping good records for day one on everything. Get to know your customers by name and build a relationship with them. I know some of their dogs' names. I'm not so good with names, but I'm good with a little fat pug called Cookie. I love her. But I usually remember their names now. And I've got a bad memory, so use your record book. But why do you want to do catalogues and online? I just want to finish with this. If you retail with the catalogues, you'll receive, if you retail £1,000, and that's what we recommend you target because we know you can achieve it on a part-time basis. £210 will be your retail profit, but you'll also receive a £60 volume profit, giving you a total profit of £270. Let's say at the same time, you're doing online and you get 1,000 online, giving you 2,000 in sales. The retail, still 210. Now, if you've used K-Life, it would be 150. If you use Cleaneasy products online, it would be 210. But as most people are using K-Life, I put 150. But your volume profit would have increased because you will be on an extra bonus to £500. The online sales, as I say, have been calculated at 15% because most people are using K-Live. So you can make 200 or 300 or you can make 500. So I would definitely recommend that you do both. Thanks very much for your time and I look forward to seeing you on the next training video.